What's going on? What's going on? I'm Eugene Napoleon. This is Napoleon's Corner. I hope all is well. Before I get started, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate your support. This is episode 246. 246, and I got a good one for you tonight. This particular episode is something that I thought about for a long, long time. And it's actually a question. Is that normal? Is that normal? So what does that pertain to? So you know how, unfortunately, where we are in today's society, and even outside of this particular topic base, but I'm going to start off with that, where we are in today's society, we, I guess, try to normalize everything. So for me, we have to stop normalizing poor habits, poor behaviors, poor decisions. You can't normalize that anymore, because it puts us all in a position to where when you see and you know people are doing something that's wrong, we try to normalize it and make it as if it's normal, and you know it's wrong. Can't. We have to stop that. We cannot normalize bad ethics, dysfunctional, abusive behaviors. And I'm going to break all that down. Let's talk about the bad ethics, right? If you see, well, first off, if you know that people are struggling, ethnically, it's not right. It's not right, right? People are struggling. We can't normalize watching somebody else's struggle, and it's okay. And we sit back and we act like everything's okay. We can't normalize that. Bad ethics is exactly that. So there's no moral code, there's no value system in place, there's no feeling of compassion. As long as everybody is doing well on a hierarchy, on the different side of this thing, if you're doing well and you're up here already, you're fine. So forget everybody else that's struggling. Forget everybody else that's not, in this class of people, so to speak, right? Forget everybody else that's in the lower tier. We can't normalize that poor and bad ethical behavior. It becomes abusive. So to me, when you're dealing with something that's abusive and it's dysfunctional, it's all this chaotic, all this other stuff that's going on, you can't normalize that. You can't make that a normal thing. And how we view other people based on status quo, based on the hierarchy, if you're not in that class, then you're nothing. We can't normalize that. Abuse of power is an interesting thing in every industry. It's in every business model. It's in every industry. It's in every profession, just about. And I get it. When somebody gets in a position of power and they abuse it, we can't normalize those decisions, especially if they're poor behaviors and it's affecting a large. I don't care if it's affecting one person. But if it's affecting one person, that turns into two people, that turns into three people, that turns into a large group of people, that's even worse. Abuse of power behaviors in a dysfunctional relationship, we have to stop normalizing that and looking the other way. We have to. That's not normal, right? So again, I've been teaching now, this is my 28th year, and I thank God for the longevity. I tell my students each and every day, if things are not right and you're doing something that's not right, you're not following the rules, right? I use this as an example. You're not following the rules. You get in trouble because you're not following the rules. And you think that you can talk your way or manipulate your way out of it. So now you want to negotiate the consequence because you didn't follow the rules. I always tell them, no, we're not going to normalize you breaking the rules, not doing what you're supposed to do, not being where you're supposed to be, and then you have the colossal gall to be upset because you get a consequence, and you think by coming up with an excuse or coming up with you didn't know this or you didn't know that, and you fully well know the rules, right? I'm not going to allow you to normalize a poor decision and make it seem as if it's somebody else's fault because you broke the rules. We're not going to do that. So these are lessons that is called critical thinking that I do every day in my classroom, because some of the stuff, it's just not normal behavior that we want to normalize. No, that's part of the problem right now. It's obviously a bigger problem on a much grander scale when you talk about societal norms, right? That we don't follow, but yet and still, again, we want to make these dysfunctional, disruptive behaviors, abusive behaviors, unethical behaviors, poor habits. We want to make all of this normal and make it seem as though if anybody speaks against it or try to speak to it in a way where you're trying to correct those behaviors, you want to make that abnormal. The fact that you're talking against it. We all know right from wrong. We all know right from wrong. And again, like I said, this topic is a difficult topic because talk about it. Most people have a problem if you call out someone that's doing something wrong and you call them out. Now you're the problem calling them out. Now, that's not normal. If I did something wrong, I was raised in a way that I have to fix that. If I offended someone, I have to fix that. Again, if I did something wrong, I have to correct it. And if someone brought it to my attention, we have to correct. I can't be upset with someone for bringing something that I did to my attention. If I act like I don't know what's going on, I'm going to be appreciative of that. You know what? I wasn't even thinking. My bad. I'm sorry. You have to correct it. So when I ask the question, is that normal? Please, in my comment section, comment on some of this stuff and let me know what your thoughts are. When you see people doing things that are so outlandish, so dysfunctional, so abusive, they try to normalize it. Comment on that. Let me know what your thoughts are. Because a lot of this stuff is not normal that we're trying to make normal. If somebody lies to you, they tell you a whole bunch of untruths. They want you to follow them down a rabbit hole. They want to give you all these different excuses based on not factual information. But you're supposed to normalize that and act as if it's factual or it's credible when you know good and well it's not. That's not normal because you know it's not. When you bring it to somebody's attention, they got their face all frowned up because you're fact checking them in real time and they don't want to be fact checked. We have to stop normalizing that behavior. Stop turning the other cheek to it. You have to speak to it because it's not normal. So I'm supposed to have you lie to me, believe the lie, build foundation on the lie, go with the lie, and then when things fall apart, I can't get to come back and say to the person, that wasn't cool because you lied to me on this, and this, and I believed you. And after some fact checking, this didn't work out. That wasn't true. And that person then gets upset with you for calling them out. They want to normalize the lie and they're upset with you because you brought it to their attention that you found out that it was a lie. That's not normal. We can't normalize that. So I think the sooner we get back to what's reality-based, what's fact-based, what's truth-based, what's moral-based, what's valued-based, I think we will be heading in a much different direction. The sooner we get back to the reality of it, the better we will be as a society, as people, the whole 9 yards. The sooner we can get back to that, I think we'll be headed in a much better place. Can't make abnormal normal, just like you can't turn a fact into a non-fact. You can't turn a truth. You could turn the truth into a lie, but it'll still be what? A lie at the end of the day. The truth will always stand supreme. You lie to somebody, a lie is a lie. The truth is the truth. So for me, I would rather you tell me the truth than to have me base all these other things around a big fat lie, because that's not normal. I'm Eugene Napoleon. This is Napoleon's Corner. I'll see you next week. Take care.